You know what's one of the hardest part of FND recovery? Not knowing if it's actually working. Well, that's the hardest part, right? And then you're doing the skills, you're practicing the breathing, the grounding, the movement, and you're just pushing it through. But here's a reality, the symptoms still come and go. And then you start wondering, am I even getting better? Or if you're a parent, you might be wondering, is my child even getting better because it doesn't look like it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover today. How to really know if you or your teen are making progress in FND recovery, even before the symptoms are fully gone. And if this kind of simple practice, brain-based clarity helps, please hit a like button and subscribe to my channel. I post new content every week to help teens and parents move through their FND recovery with structure. And it also tells YouTube that this awareness is super important. So let's go. Hi, my name is Dr. Lee. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the founder of Teen FND Academy, which is an online coaching program to help teens with FND and their parents just like you guys to get their lives back. I do this work because I 100% believe recovery from FND is possible, and I've seen it one too many times. So let's start with what's happening underneath with FND. FND, or functional neurological disorder, is a real brain-based diagnosis caused by this two-way miscommunication between the brain and the body, even though your child's brain and body are structurally fine. So the brain sends mixed messages to the body, and then the body sends confusing signals back to the brain. It's a feedback loop between the two. Both sides are misunderstanding each other, trying to protect but overworking. And that's essentially what FND looks like. And recovery happens when that communication starts to normalize again. But here is the key. Those changes start inside the brain before you can see them in the body. And especially that's the case for parents if you're seeing your child starting to recover. So why does progress feel invisible at first? Because it will be looking invisible. Here's why. Because the brain is always rewiring before the body shows it. So think of it like Wi-Fi. There is almost like a delay, right? So the signal improves before the video stops being glitchy. So at first, it feels like nothing is happening. And this is where it gets pretty impatient. That's actually when the rewiring is most active. So here are some of the early signs of progress that are super subtle. Fewer flare-ups, even though it can be inconsistent, or quicker recovery time after symptoms, or less fear when symptoms show up, either from your perspective as a parent or from teen's perspective, and more confidence trying things again. All of these things are progress. It's just not always a kind of progress that shows up on the medical chart or on your eyes. Progress looks like function, not perfection. And let's also be very clear about this because I talk about this all the time. FND recovery is not measured by how few symptoms you or your teen have. It is measured by how much life you're getting back. Literally, because it is about functional neurological disorder, so it's all about function. So things like, is your teen sitting up a little bit longer? Are they going to school a little bit more often? Or are they laughing with friends again, even if symptoms pop up? Those are the things that we're looking for. And that is what progress literally looks like, because the brain learns through experience, not through waiting for perfection or a good day. And parents, here is how to spot hidden progress for your teen. I know it's really hard when you can see the symptoms still, but here is where I want you to shift your focus and point of view. Instead of asking, did the symptom go away, either to yourself or to the team, ask, how fast did they actually recover? And how did they respond with calm mind? What did they try again that they couldn't do last month? Those are the things you're asking, because these are the real indicators and signs that the brain and the body are learning new safety patterns, even though it doesn't seem that way. If you measure that, I promise you, you're going to notice more progress than you would ever realize. And teens, this part is for you. I know you want to see instant proof. I was just like that. Something that tells you it's working. Right? But the progress in FND recovery, since this is new, it's like a learning to play piano. At first, you miss the keys. It sounds messy, right? But over time, your brain starts remembering what to do automatically, like a muscle memory. And that is what your recovery skills are doing, building the new muscle memory between your brain and your body. So please don't judge your progress by how many symptoms you had this week. Judge it by how much control, calm or confidence you had while they happened. And that is your evidence that your brain is changing. And this is exactly what I'm teaching in my program, Teen FND Academy. The Family Guy shares a handful of practical strategies to help you get out of this survival mode. And it shows why our structured approach gets such a strong result. Grab it from the description below. It is free. So let me make this very practical. Here is what I tell families to track. Create a simple list, like 3 questions each day. Number 1, what did I do today that I couldn't do last week? And number 2, when symptoms came, how did I respond? Number 3, how long did it take to get back to calm or function for that time? And that is your progress map. And when you track those small wins instead of the symptoms or absence of the symptoms, then you're going to start to see the recovery is not random. It is actually happening in layers, even though you may not feel that way. And here is a big takeaway. FND recovery does not happen in one giant leap. It is actually 1,000 small shifts that add up over time. So it's each of these wins can be like a pebble, but like when you have enough pebbles, it can create a mountain. The brain rewires through repetition, not perfection. And so every day you or your team can practice, even when it feels slow or it doesn't make much of a difference, you're actually changing the system underneath. This is how you can build up from the ground. If you're showing up, you're progressing. Even if you cannot see it just yet, your brain can feel it. If you want to see how my full program of Teen FND Academy works and how it's helping families resolve FND for real, then watch the video linked in the description box below. Remember, you're not broken. Your brain and body can learn to communicate again, no matter how long or how many symptoms you have, and you can do this together. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.